Hello everybody and welcome to week 14 of the Pokemon Battle League. Yes, that is the final game of the season coming up here. I am Evan, head coach of the Saffron City Sneasels, and this week I am taking on Ace, aka Casey, the head coach of the what is this team name? Seafoam City Squirtle Squad, there we go. So he leads out with his Adriano, the Slay King. I let out with my Machamp. I just thought Machamp had a lot of good matchups, but I worried about a Play Rough, so I switched out, and he did in fact have Play Rough. I actually didn't know if he had Play Rough, so I had a quick Google search right here to check if he had Play Rough, because it for some reason made sense to me that he would, and he did. So he has to switch out because his ability sucks, and he loses every other turn. He doesn't want to sit through doing nothing. So I know I get a free substitute up here, and I take that opportunity to get one off. I did not expect, I kind of forgot that the Registeel set he does is that cheesy setup and then just keep setting up build. So after I get my first Earthquake off, I believe he goes for his, he goes for a Defense Curl, and that is, I don't want to get trapped in this cycle, especially if he rests on me. So I decided to switch out, even though I do have a substitute up, and I could be getting free Earthquakes off. I figure I don't want to let this spiral out of control. I can resist Rollout, which would be the move that would be paired with Defense Curl, but I would much rather just prevent all of these boosts. So he goes for his second Defense Curl, and I'm pretty certain of what he's trying to do. He's going to stick to this strategy, because when you invest all these turns, it kind of sucks to switch out or change your game plan, which is why generally these sets don't work too often unless you remove all of your checks and counters. So I haze away the two Defense Curls, and then he goes for the Amnesia, and that doesn't matter at all because I could easily just haze that again if I wanted to. So we watch some more Leftovers Recovery. That is slows down most games. This game isn't too long though. I go out to Shack Daddy, who is what I wanted to go to a couple turns ago, but he had those Defense Curls. And he goes for another one. And I am a fighting type. He won't have anything to hurt me. And this week I have Guts, so if he wants to Toxic me, all the better for me. I figure he will stay in here, and I go for the Earthquake just because I didn't want to take the close combat defense and special defense drops in case he had an attacking move. But he just goes for another Defense Curl, and doesn't matter too much for me. I would think that at this point you would want to rest or switch out, because you're not going to win this duel. But he stays in, and I get my close combat, and even with his plus 3 defenses, I've got base 130 attack, max EVs, IVs, Adamant Nature. It's going to do a lot of damage. So out comes Ethel, the Nidoqueen, and I respond with my Kirby because, you know, Psychic beats Poison, and also I'm pretty tanky this week. Sets up the Stealth Rocks, which is pretty expected. It's early in the game, and you want to kind of just, if you have the time to do it, you might as well do it. So I set up my own as well. I don't need to threaten with the Psychic right now. I don't need to go for that damage, because I know I can take some hits. So goes out for the Sludge Wave, and well, I thought I could take some hits. That actually hurt a lot. I think this was a physically defensive Mew, but I underestimated how hard Nidoqueen with Sheer Force can hit. So I go out to the Shack Daddy yet again. Again, it's because I'm Assault Vested, so I figured I could take this hit better than a Mew could, and it's still not great. But I can take another one for sure. Didn't even need to calc it. You can eyeball that. But it got closer than I expected, so maybe there was some low roll, high roll shenanigans. I respond with the Earthquake, which does not take it out, which is a little disappointing. And here, I decide to just let the Machamp die, because this thing's hitting really hard. I know I can revenge kill it easily. Why bother switching out and take a huge chunk of damage on somebody else instead? So I go out to the Greninja, Genji now, and I can ideally pick up the Beast Boost, but I know there's the possibility of switching, and he does go for the switch. bringing out Horatio, the Terrakion, and I go for the Ice Beam, predicting a switch. I don't think I specifically predicted this one, but I get the freeze, 10% chance, very lucky, very good for me. And now I can just take my time with the Hydro Pump. I don't have to worry if I thought he might have Choice Scarf, which he actually was going to force a switch had I not gotten that freeze, but it seems he didn't have the Choice Scarf, so still that's the decision I think is smart to make, because Terrakion he runs Choice Scarf quite often, and that can be pretty scary. So here comes the Adriano. Again, I don't want to take this damage. He's got Play Rough, he probably has a fighting move too, and even if not, his normal moves will hurt a lot. So I'm going to get out of here and let him chunk something really hard, and then punish the next turn. So I send out the Linguini, which can tank quite a few things, and this Linguini is pretty well balanced defense and special defense, and I take that Play Rough pretty well. I figure it's not going to hit me too much harder than that. A return will hurt a little bit more, but by then I'll be healing up a little bit, so I go for the recover, and this is one of the reasons why on paper you feel like, oh yeah, you could maybe make Slave King work if you just play around that terrible ability, because the stats are amazing. Try to make it work anyway. Set it up in situations where it only wants to hit once. But you can't always be that choosy, because right now he doesn't have a good switch, so he kind of just has to keep the Slave King in, because anything else is also going to get punished. So you can't even really let this thing die effectively and just take something down with it, because I recover once, on the next turn I hit him again, and then I know he's going to get another hit off on me, so I can recover a third time, and then I can just keep topping myself off and putting myself in the best possible position. I don't have to make any compromising trades. I'm just going to be in control. And that's something that a Pokemon like Melodic can really take advantage of with Recover and its leftovers, its ability. It's not an overpowering tank and it doesn't hit super hard, but if you can't address it, it kind of just out-sustains you. And that's exactly what happens here. So I finish off with the Scald. This is by far Melodic's best performance for my team. It had some good matchups, it got itself in a good spot. Underrated Pokemon, certainly not undervalued by me. I respect and cherish you, Linguini. I just feel like that's important to say as we're at the end of our season now. This is a time for reflection before we hit that playoff stride. This is when, in the locker room, I would start giving a very congratulatory speech to my players. The job's not done yet. We still got to take care of the playoffs, but let's just appreciate what we have accomplished. This was not for nothing. Remember why we're here. So he continues. He tries to Dragon Dance here. I don't think I've shown the Ice Beam yet, and he kind of has to. He doesn't have any choices here. He needs a Dragon Dance. He needs to set up. That's the only way he's going to win. Unfortunately, I do have the Ice Beam, and after I got those Stealth Rocks up because of the Mew, he's going to go down. I really prioritized Stealth Rocks this week. That's why, like I said earlier, I didn't go for that Psychic on the Nidoqueen. There's so many reasons to always go Stealth Rock when you can force a switch, unless you really know they're going to read that. But early in the game, people don't want to make reads too often because it can really punish you. Here comes out the Gunk Shot, and less than half. It's close though, and the Life Orb doesn't bother me too much. I go for the Scald knowing that his type will change, so I don't need to switch out even if he is a Water type. I get the Burn, which is really lucky. I didn't really need it. I'm pretty sure I would still KO on the next one thanks to his Life Orb and his Burn damage, but it's always nice to get that anyway. So he's gonna go for another Gunk Shot, and doesn't really matter. It's gonna be doing reduced damage. I don't think he gets the poison. He does not get the poison. Life Orb again. Finish off with the Scald, and that's gonna be game. That's going to end our season at 14-0. Very happy with this season, but of course now the real challenge begins. We gotta climb through the playoff bracket, and this is. We take this moment to appreciate it. Everybody in the team, we can pop one bottle of champagne now. but we save the huge truck on ice for end of October. And we'll see you guys in the playoffs. Bye.